Delicious. Marmite on toast. But in fact, chili Marmite, which is incredibly good. I'm not huge on normal Marmite. I think it's okay. I'm literally the opposite of love it or you hate it. But this chili Marmite is pretty bomb. It's pretty excellent. Hello, Thomas Geither. How are you? Hello, welcome in, welcome in. I haven't streamed in a couple of days because I've been busy catching up on other tasks. But my to-do list is looking, honestly, for the first time in like 6 months, maybe even more, maybe the first time in like a year. Actually, I think that's right. For the first time in like a year, my to-do list is now manageable. I've done enough to whittle it down to the point where I'm actually on top of it, instead of always having to catch up on stuff. Ghost Bear, thank you for the 38 months. Happy that the weekend's here. That means nothing to me. Nothing I do is based on the weekend or weekday. I have a completely flipped schedule. So, Q&A today, I've already done it. Okay? I already did the Q&A and it's uploaded and it's scheduled to release tomorrow. So what do you think about that? Any non-believers out there thinking I wouldn't do a subscriber Q&A? Not me. Not this little egg. And guess what? I have enough questions for the next subscriber Q&A already. Instead of making them like an hour long or an hour and a half long, I've tried to make them like 30 minutes. So that means more regular. And also, you know, when you watch them, less like dragging through. I can group the topics a little more so they make more sense for like a specific theme, you know, that kind of thing. The executive function disorder in me is very proud of you for actually doing things you need to. Yeah, I used to be a chronic procrastinator. Not with like, you know, not due to some kind of any particular reason, just because I was kind of lazy and procrastinated a lot. But over the last, about a year, I would say maybe over the last like few years, but it's definitely ramped up in the last year, my productivity has gone crazy. I've really figured out the best ways for me and my brain to be driven to do things. So I'm popping off. How did you stop biting your nails? I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. I just decided at one point I wanted it. And I think that's the biggest difference I think that's the biggest difference between when I tried to do it before and I was doing it for reasons of like, my parents told me to do it, or I was doing it for reasons of like, I thought it would make me look more attractive, or I was doing it for reasons of like, I hated the way that they looked. You know, all of those are like negative reasons. One is someone's telling you to do it, you don't actually want to do it. The second one of, what was the second thing that I said? Oh, that I thought I would look more attractive or something. That was just because I'd gone through a breakup. That's not a good reason. And the third reason was because I hate the way that they look. That's like a negative reason. So I just decided that I wanted to fix that aspect of myself and actually wanted to like work on it as a self-improvement thing. So I think it's about actually approaching it in the right direction. Which is a bit of a non-answer, really, isn't it? Because unless you have that already, it's very difficult to actually get to that point. This is chili Marmite, and it goes crazy. Do you want to see something else I've just done for my stream? And you'll see this properly used in the subscriber Q&A video, which is coming out tomorrow. I made an upgrade to my stream, which I won't be able to use all the time, but take a look at this. Looks pretty snazzy. I got lower thirds. Look at that. Wait a second. The Minecraft server? Wait a second. With a date? And with a time? That's crazy. Wait, that's crazy. Did I just announce something in a somewhat professional manner without using my mouth? How did I manage that? With the power of lower thirds. And also I can type other dumb shit into there as well. I can't wait for you to be late to that. I will not be late to that. I will be early to that because it's 7 p.m. Eastern, which is like midnight my time. How could I be late for 7 p.m. Eastern? That's like That's an hour later than we were starting the Pokemon streams. So the reason, obviously, is similar to Pokemon. We need to get Brent involved, and we also need to get all of the Americans involved, most of which are still on Pacific times. We're going to be playing with a bunch of people from Overwatch League as well as Valorant, and I think that's everyone, actually. I think it's Overwatch and Valorant. But I could be wrong. There might be other people involved as well. Will there be a containment zone in the Minecraft server for poor viewers like us who wish for a multiplayer Minecraft experience with other Platchat fans? No. I mean, no. Because we didn't think about it. You know, if we actually think about it and implement a way of doing it properly, then maybe. But I think involving fans, involving the audience is almost guaranteeing it to be a negative streaming experience. Unless we find a really good way of segmenting the two.
If Zen wasn't supposed to play, they would have given him footsteps.
It's crazy how much you've grown as a streamer.
True.
From having regular sneezing fits.
Still have them.
Spores growing in your microphone.
No, never happened.
Graphics prepared.
Okay, spores were not growing in my microphone. Well, at least I never got it tested. This microphone somehow is cleaner, but it's the same microphone. I think I cleaned it at some point, but for the life of me, I can't remember how I cleaned it. Spores do not simply grow. Yeah, you fools. They obviously spawn. They spawn. They don't grow, dumbass. Anyone who knows anything about fungus knows that. Anyway, I was having a look through my Discord server as well, because again, I'm a good streamer now. I'm a good streamer. I'm a W streamer that does W things like read their own fucking Discord channels. We'll put that away. So I was reading my Discord server, and frankly, I read a lot of things that I didn't want to read, okay? But that's just the people I've surrounded myself with. However, I did read one thing. Now, I realized that there's a channel in my Discord server, I don't know whether I made it or whether one of the mods made it, called, let me just get this correct. It's called Stream and Server Suggestions. I ain't never looked in there before. I didn't even know that thing existed. So I was like, holy shit, like people have been suggesting things for years. And I haven't read any of them. So I went through a couple of them. I mean, I just went through like a few that were recent. And I found one, you know, while I'm sat here eating my Marmite on bread. Would you guys call this a sandwich? Because there was a burger or sandwich quiz posted. And I realized that I don't know what the definition of either of them is. I think this is a sandwich. Let me just return back to this, the very beginning premise. I think this is a sandwich. It's an open-faced sandwich. I mean, it's toast with Marmite on it, so you could call it Marmite and toast. But, okay, if it's one piece of bread, you have to have two pieces to constitute a sandwich. What about an open-faced sandwich? An open-faced sandwich is a thing. What does the verb sandwiched mean? Good point. Okay, all right, what happens if I do this then? So this is not a sandwich according to you fucking lawyers in the chat. What about this then? I take exactly same piece of bread and I just fucking fold it in on itself like that. It's still attached at this end, at least a little bit. Is this a sandwich? Because I think this is a sandwich. This is a Marmite sandwich. It's still one piece of bread. Okay, what if you made it out of two pieces of bread and then cut it in half? The distinction is useless. Still tastes the same. What's the difference? Why was one a sandwich and the other not? Doesn't make any sense. Now, the other question that I have is this a sandwich? Because this to me looks like a sandwich. But I would say this is also a burger. But isn't a burger just a type of sandwich? I'm fucking dropping lettuce everywhere. Tastes like a burger.
If Zen wasn't supposed to flame,
Oh, it doesn't taste like a burger.
footsteps.
I showed my wife the video of your med school story, and she wanted me to ask if you still had the drive link.
No. I don't have the drive link, and if I did, I wouldn't give it to you because I'll get kicked out of med school again. Thank you, Zin, and thank you, Impossible445, for the
Mr.
subs.
Show.
Okay. And so I saw somebody also in the Discord talking about this too, right? Because you guys, by popular opinion, are calling this a burger. Yeah? Burger. What is
call a
this?
submerged teapot? Titanic smiley face.
D4, we're having a very serious conversation here. Because this is not chicken, by the way. It looks like chicken, but it's not chicken. This is vegetables. This is just some, like, fried veggie shit. They call this, they don't even make any claims. They call this a vegetable deluxe. But I don't think deluxe is a vegetable. I think they're a human. Which, by the way, it's their birthday. So happy birthday, deluxe, but also you're vegetable. So unclear, completely unclear to me. So I wanted to take this quiz to try and figure out and try and refine my beliefs. Now, this is obviously a burger. I think we can all agree with that, right? This is a burger. This, I mean, that's a series of burgers. They're sliders, but they're definitely still burgers. They're just mini burgers. That's also a burger. It's on brioche. It's assembled vertically in a kind of conical manner, on a cylindrical manner, I suppose. It doesn't matter what that meat is. It's a burger. Now, this is where it starts to get tricky, in my opinion. Because that looks like a steak sandwich to me. I wouldn't call that a burger. But why? Is it because the meat is not turned into a patty? Is that the difference? I feel like that's the difference. I think we're on the same page here, chat. That's a sandwich. Now that, I wouldn't even call a sandwich. I call that a bap. I mean, depending on where you are in the UK, you'll call that something different, but that's a bap or a balm or something like that. No, not a Batiste. A bap. A bacon bap. What you guys... What kind of problem do you guys have? Dude, British people need to be forbidden from making words. We made your language! We made the language that flows from your lips. Okay, the following, I would say there's no world in which that's a burger, right? It's got to be a sandwich. I wouldn't even call it specifically a generic sandwich. Although I suppose ham and cheese sandwich, kind of, yeah. I get that. Now what the... That's a fucking abomination. That's what that is. I mean, the bread says sandwich, but the burger says burger. That's horrendous. What do you even do with that? I would say that looks... It's like a grilled cheese that someone's put a burger in. But then the way that I'm even saying this indicates that to me, a burger is the meat, not the entire object. I don't get it. This is where it's got me completely stumped. Because I've got my, I've got my sandwich, grilled cheese kind of thing, and then when these cylindrical things come in here, it's like trying to stuff a circle into a square hole. I would not call this a burger, but I don't know why. Does a burger require brioche then as well? To me, that's a sandwich. It's a sandwich. It just is. Now that is a chicken burger. It's a chicken burger. It's not a sandwich. It's got brioche.
Nah, that's a burger.
I mean, this is a burger. Previous one wasn't. Don't know what you were really referring to there. That resembles this. I mean, this that I've got in my hand is like a really terrible version, partly because it's what you actually get in the shop, and partly because it's the vegetarian version of what you've got on your screen. That is 1000% always called a chicken sandwich. Are we here to parrot what the corporations tell us is the truth? Or are we here to determine the truth for ourselves? Are the people here to determine what is true and what is not by basis of their own logic? Or are we only to repeat what we are told like sheep? No, we are not listening to what it is sold as. We are determining this ourselves. That is not ground meat. Okay. It depends where you buy it, surely. There are definitely places where they sell chicken that has been like a large amount of chicken meat just mashed together, and they essentially make chicken mash out of it and then create fried chicken. It depends where you buy it, surely. Look at the picture, that's a chicken breast. Motherfucker, you cannot tell me that's a chicken breast from this fake photo. This is probably AI generated. This is pixels on a screen. You don't know that that's chicken breast. Anyway, it's a burger. The following is a bad burger. Yeah, I mean, if the previous one was a burger, that one's definitely a burger. Ah. Now, I would say that's a salad. I don't think that's a burger or a sandwich. I think that's a salad. My mom gets this? Really? What? Who are these designed for? Who would possibly buy burger wrapped in lettuce, which ruins the stability of the entire thing, and then get it with sweet potato fries anyway? People who don't want carbs? Sweet potato fries, right there. Who's ordering this exact meal? It's nonsensical. Doesn't make sense. Wyatt River? For the gluten intolerance? That is a great answer. That's a great answer. Bread carbs are not sweet potato carbs. Motherfucker, if you are skipping bread and eating fried sweet potatoes and thinking that that's a health option, you're cooking, but not in the right kind of way. However, if you have a gluten intolerance, then it makes sense. There's no way that this is a sandwich. A sandwich requires bread, but I would say a burger also requires bread. Having said that, it is burger meat, and considering we can only pick between them, I guess we're going to go with it. Let's go. The following is a... See, this one... This one's tricky. It makes it look like a burger because of the brioche. But the meat... This looks like a sandwich. This looks like a sandwich. It's a whole chicken breast with... If this was just served in a loaf of bread, not an entire loaf of bread, but like slices from a loaf of bread, everybody would be calling that a sandwich. That's literally not brioche. Yeah, it actually isn't even brioche. It's just a bread bun. It's just a brown bread bun. It just looks a bit like brioche. Buns equals burger? What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay, so if I put... I can't even think properly. If I put... all I can think of is if I put a baby between two buns, but I don't want to go down the fucking cannibal route. Let me think of something more reasonable. If I put a pile of shit between two burger buns, would it be a burger? Would you eat it? Would you'd rock up to McDonald's and be like, "Oh, could I get the shit burger, please?" If it was a Snickers bar between two brioche buns, is that a burger? No, that's nonsense. Your problem is trying to use hard rules The distinction is based off vibes. Well, I'm getting sandwich vibes from this. I'm getting very particularly sandwichy vibes. The following is a pulled pork. I mean, it's just pulled pork stuffed inside some fucking bread with coleslaw on the side. That's a disaster of a meal. That's a ruination of good pulled pork. I mean, a pulled pork looks kind of dry. It doesn't have enough sauce on it. There's no other toppings going on there. The bread doesn't look particularly appeasing either. I mean, that's just not that great. Now, having said that, can't be a burger, can it? Anything with pulled pork can't be a burger. It's not burger meat. It's not pounded into a patty. Even if you just had a burger and you got rid of the burger meat and you put pulled pork in the middle, it would become a sandwich. It's a sandwich. The following is a... It's chili. I mean, what is that? I mean, it's definitely not burger. Even though it's ground meat, the fact that it hasn't been formed into a patty prevents it from being a burger. It's definitely not a burger. However, I would argue it's not a very good sandwich either, but it's got to be a sandwich. What makes a burger a burger? Oh, fuck, here we go. The bun, the patty, a combination of the two, I'm not sure, but I would know it when I see it. Ah! The pornography clause.
If Zen wasn't supposed to flank,
You guys heard about that?
given him footsteps.
Don't let the Americans shame you for these takes. I've never been more disappointed than when I heard what their pride and joy, Philly cheesesteak, actually was.
I've had a Philly cheesesteak. Ain't that good? Yeah, classic American law shit. If you've never heard of this story before, it goes something like this. I'm probably messing up some details. There was some kind of case brought to court where they were supposed to decide if something was pornographic or whether it was art. And the judge essentially decided at the end of it that they couldn't find clear rules on what makes something porn, but they said, but I know it when I see it. Which is a wonderful thing for what was, at the time, an even more conservative country with conservative judges to be making decisions about. But isn't that fantastic?
If Zen
Was it for the Film Review Board? Yeah, I'm not sure.
given him footsteps,
It was the Supreme Court? Yeah, because it just goes all the way up, right? If no one can decide what porn is, then it has to go to, the porniest person of all. Don't skate past the Philly cheesesteak, you Tory. Answer for your take. What do you mean? A Philly cheesesteak is an all right idea, but when I ate them in Philadelphia, they were badly done. They had weird fucking plastic cheese on top of stuff. The meat wasn't great quality. They were mass-produced like slop, basically. It was just not good. It was just not good. I went to 3 places. I went to the 2 places that are the most famous for it, but everyone who is actually from Philly tells you not to go to. And then I went to some place I can't remember the name of that an actual Philly person told me to go to. And I had it with provolone and I had it with the horrible plastic cheese stuff. And it just wasn't that great. Just wasn't that great. In theory, it should be great, but the execution was always letting it down. Anyway, it's definitely the porn. Is this a burger? What the fuck is that? Is this a burger? No. No, that's not a burger. That's like a really bad steak and fries. That's like a horrendously bad steak and fries. What region are you from? Europe. Your response has been recorded. Where has that gone? That's just gone into the back end of somebody's data collection service somewhere. But I'm happy with my results. I feel confident in that. I don't feel like I even said anything that controversial. A burger is a burger, a sandwich is a sandwich. There are no answers at the end? Of course there's no answers at the end. It's subjective. The sandwich alignment chart. Okay, a BLT is definitely a sandwich. A sub is also a sandwich. A chicken wrap is not a sandwich. Neither is a burrito, and a Pop-Tart fucking definitely isn't. Alright, let me get my Epic pen out. I need to start drawing on this shit. Because some of this is just nonsense. Some of this is absolutely nonsense. Right. Let's get started with this. That is bollocks. That is bollocks. And that is absolute bollocks. A hot dog... Right, we'll get to that in a second. A BLT definitely is a sandwich. Yep. A sub is a sandwich as well. Yes. A chip butty is a sandwich. I think technically true, yes. But a very bad version of a sandwich. We'll get back to you. An ice cream taco is a sandwich. No, that's nonsense. That's absolutely nonsense. And also, ice cream between waffles is a sandwich. No, fuck off. That's, again, just nonsense. Okay, so now, here's the real question. Is a hot dog a sandwich? I don't think it is, you know. I think the reason is because the hot dog, in its traditional form like that, in its traditional form, one of the sides would be connected, right? Still? I'll get back to you dissidents in a second. We're focused on the true neutral right now. If it was a slice of toast with a couple of sausages on it, and then another slice of toast on top, or bread, whatever, that would be a sandwich. However, I did argue earlier that an open-faced sandwich is still a sandwich. Could this not just be a version of an open-faced sandwich? It's a sub? No, but a sub is different. And let me think why. Because I immediately emotionally know it's different, but I rationally can't explain it, so give me a second. The combination of ingredients and the fact that there isn't a focal... The fact that the... When you... When you take a bite of a sub, you have bread at the top, bread at the bottom, ingredients in the middle. When you take a bite of a hot dog, doesn't work like that. You have, bread at the sides most of the time, and toppings on top. It's assembled differently. Mate, you're not making a hot dog an open-faced sandwich, isn't a sandwich then? It is, though. It is. There's logic here somewhere. Let me just find it. I'm struggling, though. Well, maybe a hot dog is a sandwich, then. Maybe a hot dog is like a specific type of sandwich. A specific type of open-faced sandwich, similarly to how a burger is a sandwich. What about the taco? No. It's not bread, it's a wrap. Oh, it's not a wrap, but it's like it's a taco. Is a corn dog a sandwich? Corn dogs should not exist. All right, we're gonna say that. Now, do we have any concerns from the community here? Take. I've never had a good corn dog. Corn dogs always are made with horrible ingredients, and they taste like shit. Tell you what else. I think I've only had good cornbread once. Most of that is wank as well. Turns out, American food isn't that great. Just not that great. This man lived in Texas. Yeah. I had cornbread. I had cornbread at a bunch of places. It was almost always... Guys, what you got to realize is, by living in the US, you've been brainwashed by the corn lobbyists and the corn industry to enjoy corn in everything. You've been suckling at the teat of the corn industry via corn syrup through your breast milk since before you could talk. You love corn. You can't... all you want is corn. And it's baffling. Listen, I may not know a sandwich until I see it. But I know corn. Corn. Tell you what, this is the first time I've had McDonald's in the UK for like 10 years. And it's still just as shit as I remember it being. It's really quite bad. The chips in the UK are also significantly worse than the US. I don't even really like them that much in the US. But my God, they're dreadful in the UK. And I think it's because we have stricter regulations about what you're allowed to put in your food. Hot take. I think a sandwich is made from bread that has been cut from a larger loaf. A bread item that is baked as an individual serving normally has its own name. Panini, wrap, bap, roll. If I order a sandwich from a shop, I expect 2 slices of bread. Everything else is normally specified. Yeah, you're right. That does disqualify sub sandwiches. I mean, under that definition, the sub would not be a sandwich. And I feel like the sub is absolutely a sandwich. Nor would a hot dog. Yeah, but I was a bit more back and forth on the hot dog. I'm a very hardline sub. We wouldn't call a sub a sandwich if it had a different name. Like a hot dog. It's literally called a sub. What are you guys talking about? It does have a different name. But that doesn't stop it from also being a sandwich. Aren't they called submarine sandwiches? Well, yeah, but they're called submarine sandwiches because they survive underwater because of what Subway puts in them. They never go soggy because they're just filled with that many preservatives. They can survive underwater. It is 2 slices of a whole loaf of bread. It's just the 2 slices are each half the loaf. Wait, okay. So now we're getting somewhere. So it's still... it is still slices of a loaf. It's just that you take a baguette and you it in half and you shove the ingredients in there. Now that I can kind of get behind that. That kind of makes sense. They're connected though. Do they have to be? Would anyone be mad if from now on all sub sandwiches weren't connected at the back? It would make things slightly more difficult to eat perhaps. But I think it would be fine. That is exactly a hot dog. Fuck off, no, it's not a hot dog. I don't know why they're different, but they are different. They're different. I can't tell you why, but they are. I think it's because sandwiches are supposed to have multiple ingredient components in there. Like the main portion, the main part of the sandwich, there has to be like many bits of it. Oh, no, that's not true either, because if you just shoved a whole chicken breast in there, that would still be a sandwich. I don't know what's wrong with me. If you put chips in a hot dog bun, is it a chip butty? No. I mean, it would just be nonsense anyway. Why would anyone do that? The hot dog bun is incredibly inefficient at holding anything other than a hot dog. What the fuck is a butty? It's a chip butty. That's what we call it, okay? The UK is so sandwich pilled that we have like 20 different names for various different types of sandwiches, depending on what the contents are. The bap, the balm, the butty, I can't remember the others, but there are others. A sandwich is simply a way of expressing food served within or on a piece of bread. Hence why a hot dog is a sandwich, but obviously a burrito is not. I think I agree with that. I think I agree with that definition. I think that's why I'm an open-faced sandwich believer. Because if you just put stuff on top of a slice of bread, I think it inherently becomes a sandwich. I had Marmite on toast earlier. I think that was a Marmite sandwich. What about muffaletta? Or any other open... I think I hit smash on muffaletta in the Pokemon Smash or Pass. What the fuck is muffaletta? What is that? I think a sandwich has a top and a bottom. No. You only need a bottom. An open-faced sandwich is just the bread being a power bottom. You don't need the top. Hot take. No form of bread, roll, loaf, baguette means it's not a sandwich. A hot dog has space for toppings, whereas anything inside a sandwich is just part of the filling. The existence of a filling is key for a sandwich. All in all, this means ice cream sandwiches are not a sandwich, tacos are not a sandwich, a hot dog is not a sandwich, but the sub is a sandwich. A hot dog with the presence of toppings is closer to a burger. I agree, but your reasoning doesn't make sense. I agree with the conclusion, but... at no point in your thesis did you define why a hot dog with toppings is a burger and not a sandwich. I agree. I think a hot dog with toppings is closer to... I guess it's to do with the topping versus filling. If an open sandwich is so loose... What do you mean open is so loose? I don't know what that means. Do the toasty alignment chart. What is this? Okay. Yeah. Oh, holy shit. Wait. Okay, so these are supposed to be cheese toasties. I mean, what's wrong with any of these? I literally don't understand what's wrong with any of these. Like, that is obviously, I mean, a boring version of it, but yeah, that's like a classic grilled toast or whatever you call it, grilled cheese toasty, whatever it is. Yeah, you want to put some tomato on there? Yeah, fuck it. You want to put some bacon on there as well? Yeah, why not? I mean, what is this? Cheese and avocado? Yeah, that sounds great. That is terrible. But would I still call it a cheese toasty? Yeah, I mean, you should never cook anything else in your life ever again. But yes, you've technically accomplished your task. This, I'd love to try that. That looks really interesting. I'm down for that. That looks great. The bread isn't toasted? It is. It is. It's definitely toasted. All of these are toasted. I mean, if it's not toasted, if it was just raw bread. Well, how would you melt the cheese? How have they melted the cheese? It's more difficult to melt the cheese without toasting the bread. Okay, if the middle is not toasted, then all right, it doesn't count. But I'm assuming that this is somewhat toasted. Normally, brioche is just lightly toasted on the inside and you can't completely tell. But, all right, depending on whether or not. I don't even know what that is. What is that? Is that a baked rainbow? Is that actually supposed to be a rainbow? Or is that just cheese? I mean, if it's just cheese but it's colored, of course it's a green cheese. It's Crayola? Those are crayons? Well, don't eat that. No, that's cheese. That's cheese. That's cheese. Oh, hello. I didn't spot this before. That's mac and cheese inside. I don't understand why this is described as chaotic evil. That's just a cheese and ham toasty. I mean, that and that are almost identical, aren't they? What's the difference? It's just in terms of the slice of pork that you've got. It's egg? Oh. How are you guys able to tell that? That's a melt? What are you talking about that's a melt? It's the same shit. The cheese is melted in all of these things. Isn't that a croque monsieur? Yeah, well, fucking... Who gives a shit? It's just a different name for the same thing. It's not crimped. Fucking hell. Oh, so you need a crimped croque, do you? All of these are just cheeses. All right. The real answer to this conversation is that grilled cheese is kind of shit anyway. It doesn't tend to have too much flavor unless you put a lot of other stuff in there, like, for example, the tomato or the bacon or avocado or something like this. If you're just having cheese with some form of fat, like mayonnaise or butter or whatever it is in there, that's meh. It's meh. It's meh at best. It's meh at best. It's just grilled cheese. I mean, you're probably using a pretty shit cheese. Let's be real. You can buy way better cheeses. You can eat them in way better ways. Something like this looks genuinely interesting. I mean, I would be excited to try that. Something like that looks really fucking tasty. That looks like it's got other things in there that are going to provide flavor. This is like, bro, you really live like that? You really live like that, do you? This, I mean, that looks like it's got some herbs on the bread and stuff at least, and some tomato sauce and that kind of thing, but... The Business Goose, thank you for the 12 months.
Happy 1 year, you bald egg. I enjoyed meeting you at Champ's Smiley Face. Have a nice day.
Thank you, it was lovely meeting everybody. It becomes a melt as soon as there's a protein in there that makes the cheese a topping. Okay, there's no way that the cheese is a topping in this. The cheese is like oozing out of every orifice. The cheese is going to be assaulting you and slapping you in the face with its flavor. I mean, the cheese is the focus in all of these. You wouldn't say this is a ham sandwich with a little bit of cheese on it. That is at very least the cheese and the ham agreeing to a coalition government. And I would say that the cheese has the majority. It's a ham sandwich? In what way? Maybe to the pig. Maybe the pig would argue it's a ham sandwich because it affects them a bit more than the cow. It's a ham melt. You're all melts. That's what I've learned here. You're a melt. You're all melts. This is not as controversial as you're making it. What is this? It's a black screen. Hello? You people make me sick. This is on r/grilled cheese. A grilled cheese consists of only these following items. Cheese, bread with spread, usually butter. Okay. That's just an argument from what? An argument from authority? An argument from just stating a fact as if it's a fact? Adding cheese to your tuna sandwich, it's called a tuna melt. Want to add some bacon and some pretentious breadcrumbs with spinach? I don't know what the hell you call that, but it's not a grilled cheese. Who made you the fucking grilled cheese king? I would be willing to wager I've eaten more grilled cheese in my 21 years than most of you have had in your entire lives. What we've identified here is somebody with horrendous taste in food. If they've eaten, let's just say this, okay? Let's run a little experiment here, right? This is somebody who's willing to wager that the average member of r/grilled cheese, let's just put some figures out there. If you're going to a subreddit called r/grilled cheese, you must eat grilled cheeses every now and then, right? Let's say most people are around, what, 20? Does that sound reasonable to say 20 years old? And they've probably been eating grilled cheeses for at least 10 years. Let's say everybody who's been to r/grilled cheese has at least 10 years of grilled cheese eating experience. And they've eaten At least one a month. That's a large amount of grilled cheeses, and I'm sure that I'm on the conservative side there. I'm sure it goes way higher than that. Some people in there who in their entire lives have eaten a fucking outrageous amount of grilled cheeses. And what we've seen here is somebody very confident they're willing to wager that they've eaten more grilled cheeses in their 21 years than any of you have had in your entire lives. There's somebody out there on r/grilled cheese who's an 80-year-old who all they've been eating for the rest of their life is fucking grilled cheeses. And this person is confident they've eaten more than that within 21 years. And all they eat on their grilled cheese is cheese, bread, and butter. This is a person advocating for poverty living. This is a person advocating and gatekeeping absolute tasteless war food. This is wartime Britain level food. This is horrendous. This is horrendous.
Wasn't supposed to flank. They would have given him
What'd you call grilled cheese?
If you're saying grilled cheese must only contain cheese, bread, and a spread, that's just boring grilled cheese. It's not that great.
I mean, I make mine with mayonnaise on the outside.
I know, and I've had yours, and yours is quite a nice grilled cheese. But grilled cheeses without other things on them are still quite boring.
Yeah.
It's like just having Marmite on toast. I'm down for it, but I'm not going to eat it every day of my life. And if I did, I'd be extraordinarily bored of it.
I am a bit insulted that you don't like my grilled cheese that much.
When do you ever make yourself a grilled cheese?
I'm allergic to cheese.
Well, yeah, you're allergic to cheese. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I do like your grilled cheese, in as much as contrasting it to other grilled cheeses. But if I was gonna have, like, for me to order a grilled cheese, if I was out somewhere and had a selection of different foods, it would have to have something really good with it, like, I don't know, chili Marmite, or a bunch of avocado, or some the chorizo stuff that we had at in Austin. That, like, really excellent veggie chorizo. Shoving that in the middle of a grilled cheese.
The stuff from Java.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that would be electric, flavorful. Pops in your mouth. Not just cheese, bread, and spread. And if you're eating that, this person is saying they're willing to wager that they've eaten more grilled cheeses in 21 years than any other person on r/grilled cheese in their entire life. They must have eaten a lot. And they're only eating bread and cheese.
That sounds like a safety food. It's like made with peas.
I don't think it's a safety food. I think it's just a very, I mean,
That sounds like somebody who is eating it as safety food.
they end the thing with, you goddamn heretics, respect the grilled cheese and stop changing it into whatever you like. This is textbook gatekeeping. It's not saying I like it this way. It's you must not make your grilled cheeses another way.
Anybody that eats peas without throwing samjang in there is doing it wrong.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. If you were saying the other way around, if you said peas are only good exactly on their own without anything added, that's tantamount to this take.
Fucking great all on
Well,
their
yeah, peas are great on their own, but peas are accentuated by other things in a dish. You've just come in here to stir the pot. Yeah.
own. I have a headache and I want to make it everyone else.
Oh. Anyway, Beth's not interested in giving actual takes. Beth's interested in winding me up. Okay. Let's see what kind of things are actually on r/grilled cheese. Let's do top all time. It's literally you people make me sick. Grilled cheese from an airport Tim Hortons in Canada. I mean, this is what this guy's advocating for. Fuck Blue Shells is literally advocating for this. That's terrible. Open-faced grilled cheese with tomato sauce. I'll tell you something. My mum won't eat pizza because she says it's basically just grilled cheese. She said it's just like a fancy and very fatty grilled cheese. So she won't have pizza. Now, my mum has horrendous opinions on food. Horrendous opinions on food. But I disagree. So, therefore, it's fine.